Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. If you've seen my one other video that I posted, then thank you for coming back. If you enjoy home renos, cleaning tricks, all that jazz, then be sure to stick around, hit that subscribe button and like. And please forgive me, I tried just chatting through this video and realized that it was just awful. It was better to just voice over. So like I said, I'm really new to YouTube, so bear with me while I, get it together here. So ride along with me if you want to see how we did our bathroom flooring. So I started by emptying out the bathroom and then giving it a quick sweep. I wanted to make sure I got every bit of dog and human hair and anything else that might have been there. And then I decided to use my hands to clean the floor rather than a mop. I just figured that I'd be able to get every nook and cranny much better. And I really wanted to make sure that I got every bit of dirt off the floor because we're using peel and stick tiles. I wanted them to stick. And so I'm using TSP to clean the floor because it's a little gritty and it's almost like you're sanding finely anyway, the surface. And I thought that would be the best for having the new tiles stick. As you can see, I spent a minute trying to scrape paint off the floor and ultimately realized it really doesn't matter because we're covering it with new flooring, so not a big deal. I did the whole floor this way, and I clearly had to rinse that disgusting rag out a bunch. Here you see that I just tried to lay the tiles out a little bit to get a good idea of how it would go. And we ended up having a problem where we ordered 3 boxes, 2 of them showed up, and then the third box just didn't. It just got lost in transit, didn't show up. We had waited about 2 weeks and nothing. So we ended up canceling the order for the third one. And then we went back to our local Home Depot and where we had ordered it online because they didn't have any in stock. And they ended up having like 86 of them in stock by the time we finished waiting for ours to arrive. So we just picked up another box from Home Depot in town, and then it was fine. But we ended up having a half-done bathroom for like 2 weeks while we waited. But oh well, it is what it is. Here I'm just explaining how I decided to lay the tiles long way because I thought it might make our bathroom look bigger if I laid them that way. I don't know if it really did or not, but I like the way that it ended up turning out. So I was extremely nervous to do this. And I bought these little grout tabs because I wanted to put grout in between the peel and stick tiles because I wanted them to look authentic. I wanted it to look better than if I had just peel and stick, So here I am just being super nervous and procrastinating and showing you how I think my little tile tabby things will work out. And honestly, the tiles weren't thick enough to really even hold them up. So by the end of it, I just kind of wung it and I wasn't even using them. And I'll tell you a funny little story about behind the toilet when this is all over. Okay, so I decided I didn't want to lay the tiles in line with each other. I'm not really sure how to explain that, but basically I wanted them exactly like what you're seeing here. And what I didn't know until after I did the entire floor was that you're actually supposed to start in the center of the room. So whoops. Okay, here is me getting brave and actually committing to cutting the first piece. I'm starting with the vent, and as you may or may not know, I already have no idea what I'm doing. So I tried scoring it from the bottom because I didn't want to draw on the top where everyone would see, just in case I made a mistake. And this ended up being really hard and took me a really long time. Okay, life lesson that I learned was to measure and just mark the front because it's a pencil and you can erase it, it doesn't matter. and then score the front of it, and then it just snaps super easy, like way easier than the 20 minutes I think I took on the vent. So scored at the front, folks. So here you'll see me just quickly laying down on the tile. I figured you didn't need to watch that in slow motion. I did put all the tile down that didn't need to be cut first, just because I found that way easier and quicker. And I felt more accomplished when more of the flooring was down. So then I started just kind of working on the bits that I had to cut. And by the door, I will tell you, was so tricky. I ruined so many tiles doing that little piece that you see me working on. I gave up on it so many times. It just wasn't right. So I ran out of tiles, of course, which I knew was going to happen. And I just have a few spots left. I have right there behind the toilet, that corner. And then I have over here by the door, and this one little piece over here, which is actually really sad because I don't think that I'm going to need an entire box of tiles to do the rest. But you know what? With that tricky corner, I might just. So I'll have to keep you posted there. But I think it looks so good so far, and I'm really jazzed. Once it's grouted, it's going to be great. So we've lived like this for far too long, but the day has come. We have another box of tiles, and so we're going to get right to it. So I start by just sweeping the areas that I'm going to be tiling, just to make sure I get rid of any dog hair, anything that has come through with the traffic. And please don't mind my dog hair infused pants. That's just the way life is around here. So yeah, I'm just gonna speed through, and I'll let you know if I get stuck anywhere. And I'm sorry that I don't have the best angles, but I hadn't gotten my new tripod by that point, so they'll get better, but for now I apologize. I don't have the best angles. So this is my biggest struggle in the entire bathroom, I feel like, was this one edge. I cut, I don't know how many tiles. I wasted so much. I tried right here, you can see, very dangerously, just trying to like trim off a little bit more because I didn't quite do it right and I didn't want to waste another tile. So I don't recommend that you do this at home. And to be honest, it didn't even end up working out for me. This was very much a struggle for me, and you can tell that I'm new at the whole tiling floor thing. So yeah, I mean, trial and error, I guess, and a little bit of frustration. I even used some scissors to cut it, which I don't recommend because then the glue from the adhesive on the bottom of the tile like messed up my scissors, and I ended up using Goo Gone and it was fine, but it was like a bit of a scrub for sure. So don't ruin your kitchen scissors with stick-on tiles, folks. Yeah, this one caused me so much frustration. I can't even explain it. This was a wasted tile. So I'm back at this dreaded piece of tile, and I don't know why. I measured it for so long. I really thought about it. I struggled with this piece. I messed it up so many times. I don't even get it done in this video. But this was the end for me for the day. I was over it. Once I couldn't figure this tile out and I had ruined another piece, I was done. So I will just kind of skip along until tomorrow, you guys. So this is the little tool contraption thing I borrowed from my dad, and I didn't like it. It didn't do anything for me. I don't know. I should have obviously had a tutorial from him on how to use it because I tried and I still just didn't get it. I don't know. So I ended up taking some construction paper from my kids' craft drawer and just cutting pieces of paper to fit in the hole and taping other pieces together until I had exactly the right size of what I needed. And you know what? It honestly worked out for the best. I got the piece of tile in there, and you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. So at least I figured it out. Okay, the worst is over. So all of the tiles are down. Everything is looking all right. No real big gaps, and it's time to grout. So I have some water, a clean sponge, just a little scraper, and some pre-mixed grout. I went with pre-mixed because I didn't want to mess anything up, and this just seemed like the safest route. Okay, so you'll notice this huge, like, triangular gap, and honestly, that was my fork it moment. I just was super over messing around in the back of the toilet. I figured nobody ever is going to look in the back of the toilet, so I'm just going to cram it with grout. And to be honest, nobody's noticed that one so far. So I just took a bunch of the grout and I put it into the crevice, and now I'm just spreading it along. I don't want to do too big of an area at once because I know grout dries pretty quickly and I didn't want to make any mistakes. So I just did pretty small sections, and once I got the hang of it, it moved a lot quicker. But I just did small sections and then scraped off the excess, and then I took the sponge, I wet it, and then I just ran it over top to get rid of any of the extra grout that wasn't in the actual crack, which you will see here. I was really nervous to do this, but honestly, it was so easy. I really enjoyed the grouting part more than the laying of the tiles. I just think that it was way easier and something I could get on board with for sure. So yeah, I just repeated this process, and I'll just speed along through and show you guys the finished product. Well, there you have it, you guys. This is the end of the video. This has been quite the journey. Thank you so much for following along. I hope that you found some value here, got some tips and tricks, or at least what not to do when tiling your own bathroom floor. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll be sure to get to them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and we'll see you next Sunday. I thought I would mention I just mopped 24 hours after I did the grout once it was dry to make sure I got rid of any excess that was there. And if you're interested in the products, I've listed them below in the description. Thanks so much.